Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about Yoshikazu Yasuhiko, a great mangaka. He worked. He's very famous for Gundam, but he did other works. Here I want to talk about 3 of his other works. This I showed in one video about minimalistic backgrounds if you do manga. But here I want to just talk about the art generally and the mastery of this artist, and how I really see it as one of the masters of manga. So this one is based on the life of Jesus, but it's the protagonist is this guy is not Jesus. He's one kind of disciple, and so I've seen some of his works, and this one is in color, but even when I look at other works, other mangas he did, he has this kind of mastery of just drawing what is necessary for the storytelling and just making it like very clear and to the point, to what he wants to portray. For example, here wants to portray the pain, so it doesn't bother to draw the ear or to draw blood or to draw, just focused on very specific things, and it creates a very elegant and like breathing kind of art style. And that's why also I mentioned it in the video on energy saving way of doing manga, because he doesn't bother to draw things that people are not gonna really look at when they read the manga. And usually when we read the manga, we are into the story, and we don't tend to look at every little detail. The eye goes over the page and progress through the story, and the eye just perceive the action. So drawing every blade of grass, every window, every tile of roof is not really necessary. You want to focus on what matters. And so you see, even for like a very important double page like that, it doesn't get lost in drawing the whole town behind or every little cloud and everything. You just focus on the composition, the balance, the harmony of the elements, the flow, the movement, and he builds a good composition, and then he focuses the details where it is necessary. So this is something we can learn from the masters of manga. I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm gonna just go here and there. You see, for the landscapes, Even I will show one is like a traditional manga, like gray tones. He uses a similar technique that he used with watercolor. He has very nice composition. He did a few mangas, historical mangas. So he did this one, Jesus. And then let's look at the next one. He did also one based on the life of Joan of Arc. So I pick up the first one, so not to go too far into the story. So this is more like a medieval setting. So you have something that may be into a fantasy manga, a classical fantasy manga. But see, you know, it doesn't draw every stone. You know, it's breathing. It's really elegant. Here also, you know, it doesn't draw the line for the ground and many details. But it actually makes the drawing kind of better because of it. You see just a few blades of grass, but not everything. Here just a few tiles. This is something when we are trying to progress into manga, we tend to be obsessed with every details, and something we have to tame, to hold back at some point, to understand that the overall harmony of the page, the essential parts are composition, storytelling, and readability, you might say. That it's not too busy, you know. There are mangas, they are very busy, the page is so busy, it's not beautiful to look at anymore, even if the art is really amazing. But if there is too much stuff on the page, it's I don't know, not great. Here you have some very nice shot from far away, but if you look, it's not many details, but just the contrast, the balance, the placing of the village, the hills, a little bit something in the foreground, but mild. It's very beautiful. Also, the character art is he has a very elegant character design. You can see it also in Gundam. He has a very recognizable character design, especially for the heroes. They have very like nice features, facial features that are usually similar from one hero to another in his mangas. And he draws also very beautiful trees. When I look at his art, I feel like he must have done the art school, but like a very classical, like high value classical art school. Like in French we say les beaux-arts, which is kind of the high standards of art school in the, not nowadays, but in the past. So these mangas, they are watercolor, which make them even more beautiful and like a premium objects to treasure. Now in France they are in the process of republishing these mangas. These ones I got second hand a few years ago. See, very nice. I did some I redrew some of panels to study. It looks I don't know, it doesn't look, I mean, it's really great art, but some people, they may look at this and compare, like, let's say to Berserk or to Vagabond or to Blade of the Immortal, and they may think, oh, this less detail is not as good or something, but I think it's different. It's depending on your taste, on what you are impressed by. But for me, seeing the quality of the flow, the space, the space element in the composition, I think is very important. I understand more now that composition and how to focus on the storytelling through the composition and the balance is more important than the kind of technical showing off of how many details you can stuff into one image. So let's look at the last one. So this is joan in Japanese, and I don't know if the title in Japanese is in there or in English. No, maybe joan in English. And this one I just got recently. This is an Italian edition. There is no French edition. I didn't find. And I don't know if there is a English edition, but this is based on old Japanese history, like a Yamato, like a Yayoi or Jomon Jidai. It's really cool. It's nomi no o, I think it's king. I think it's for king. There's a few pages in watercolor also, so it's cool in the beginning. And it has a kind of a primitive Japan vibes that could be something like late Jomon, early Yayoi. It's similar to Mononoke Hime time period. It's the early founding of modern, like medieval Japan society, when there was I'm not very perfect on the history, but there was the Jomon era, and it was like primitive but peaceful kind of. And then there was a new wave of people coming from Asia through China, Korea, and they came through the south of Japan, and they were the what were called later the yayoi, and they start to bring the rice culture, agriculture, and the Chinese way of organizing society. And so they conquered kind of Japan in that way and organized the Japanese society in mirroring a little bit the Chinese courts, Chinese society. So in Mononoke you see some of that through the Yayoi people in the village, and then they fight the people from the north. Mononoke is one of the symbol of the people of the north, the Emishi and stuff. But I'm kind of going a little bit not perfectly following the story, so I may say some mistakes. But this manga here is is following about the early Japanese. You see some of the buildings like this is I would say early yayoi or late Jomon, but yeah, with this kind of objects. And you see, even with screen tones, it still keep the elegant look. There's a lot of fighting in the beginning. Here you see a camp. So I think this is yayoi already, this kind of layout. Because Jomon, when you look at some archaeological site and reproduction of the villages, they were buried in the ground. They would dig in the ground and then build the structure of the houses on top. They have the Jomon hut like that, and even bigger hut that are built this way. But when you have this kind of over the floor, like a modern Japanese traditional house, I think this is already the yayoi way of building. I may be mistaken, but I think I might not be wrong either. You may check. You may do your research and discover more about Japanese history. There are some places in Japan you can visit for village reproduction according to archaeology. In the north, you have one on the Jomon, at the north of Honshu, the main island. I hopefully will visit it. And there is one that is about the yayoi, and it's in Kyushu. And just Google it, you will find. You type Jomon archaeological site northern Japan or something, and you type you search yayoi village reproduction Kyushu, and you will find. Here you have some reference to the early culture, so this may also be interesting. You may find some stuff. And this one, being black and white like regular mangas, it's also one cool way to see how he managed to keep his elegant style. even in black and white. And yeah, you see he has a very good sense of contrast and like a gradual gradient way of using script tone. So it's not flat, it has a smooth feeling, and the way he inks also is more atmospheric than like perfectionist. He also used blacks also very well, the blacks to make elements pop out from the background. Here also black silhouettes. Here also to bring some dread. You see, you leave some of the face in the black with a scary eye. And you see the flow here. For example, this is a good example. This is a different character, but it gives a sense of animation, that each character follow this same motion. So it's kind of a dynamic way of bringing composition. You can see it here too, like a triangle. Here too, foreground and background to characters. It's like a perspective with characters. So there's many tricks, many things to learn to do good composition and movement with the elements to tell the story. So if you are Italian, if you speak Italian, then it's better for you. You can understand the story. With my French, I think I could try to read and understand some of it, because Italian is kind of close to French. But yeah, if you're from Italia, then you will enjoy this. It's Edizioni Star Comics, so you can pick it up. And there is also Gundam Origin by him. So if you like mechas and sci-fi, you can pick up Gundam Origin, I think. He did other works about the antiquity, Alexandros or something. He did a few others. You can check on Wikipedia or on other websites to see his works. See, when he wants, he can do more details, but this is a choice for a specific purpose. So you see, put a little bit more details, but not everything. You see, doesn't do every straw on the thatch roof, or it doesn't put grass all over the place everywhere. So even when you want to put more details, you still know how to choose how much. So I'm gonna stop here. Please leave a like. If you're not subscribed and you enjoy, then subscribe. And if you like this kind of mangas, then you can discover many of his works, and this is for me one of the masters. You can really learn so much by looking at the way he composes panels, and each image also is very well composed. The use of shading, screen tones, where he keep the white, where he put strong blacks, where he put screen tones. He has a very good sense of harmony. All right. So have a good day and see you in the next one.